All right, let's get this news report over with. EPCC News!
In the world of entertainment, there are some shows, in this case animated series, that grasp the attention of many viewers. Rick and Morty, having only been released a few years back, has quickly become a pop culture phenomenon, with an ever-expanding fanbase, especially here at our campuses of EPCC. But why exactly do many of students, even faculty and staff, enjoy this show? What makes it stand out from the rest? This is Mauricio Sandoval with The Scoop.
What makes Rick and Morty good is it's content material. It's sci-fi, it's space, it's science. It's basically a never-ending supply of material. You have universes, you have alternate dimensions. You just have so much to work with. You have a scientist with unlimited potential. You have Morty, which is the comic relief of the show. That's what makes a lot of people relate to the show. And then you have Rick. Well, like I already said, Rick. But Rick is the one that drives the show. Rick is the one that with all the smarts. Rick is the one that brings the show to its, I want to say its intelligence in a way. Even though he's a drunk, that's also some of the comedic relief. But the fact that he's a scientist, but not just any scientist, like the world's smartest scientist, that's what makes the show unique and stand on its own compared to other satirical shows like South Park and Family Guy, you know?
The series follows the misadventures of cynical mad scientist Rick Sanchez and his fretful, easily influenced grandson Morty Smith, who split their time between domestic family life and interdimensional adventures.
The thing that attracts me about the show is the concept of alternate realities. Like, I think it was in the first season, Rick and Morty completely destroy their entire universe with, I guess they turned everybody into grasshoppers, well, insects, and then they went to a different reality, and before they went there, that reality's versions of themselves killed themselves, and they just basically took over. It was pretty funny.
The animated sci-fi sitcom was created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, who is also the voices of Rick Sanchez and Morty Smith on the show. Originally as an animated short spoof of Steven Spielberg's Back to the Future titled The Real Animated Adventures of Doc and Marty, Roiland and Harmon decided to use that as the initiative to create the show.
Being a show with philosophical themes, has it somehow changed your perspective on how you see things in life?
Yeah. Within the show, there are certain episodes that get deep and like actually relate to like real life. So, like in one episode, they were talking like Rick tries to kill himself. That got pretty real. It was a failure in attempted suicide. That actually like that can make you think about real life. You know how people can commit suicide, how they're like just unhappy with their lives. So I think like yeah, the show can relate to how you can see like your own life and your other people's lives because it can be pretty bad sometimes. And yeah.
We're the only friends we've got, Morty. It's just Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty and their adventures, Morty. Rick and Morty forever and forever, 100 years, Rick and Morty's things. Me and Rick and Morty and running around in Rick and Morty time. All day long, forever, all 100 days.
Rick and Morty was first introduced back in December 2nd, 2013, and is currently on its third season, showing new episodes usually every Sunday night. Now this show is found on Cartoon Network's late night program Adult Swim, so viewer discretion is advised when in the presence of children. Here I am holding the famous portal gun from the show that Rick uses to travel through the multiverse with his grandson, Morty. I hope this thing hasn't run out of batteries. This is Mauricio Sandoval from EPCC News, signing off.